What up, what up, what up? Lego Day. So, today we are going to continue the Mos Eisley Cantina. Hopefully, all the bags are here, because I was informed that some people have been missing bags. So that's oof. But just kind of a recap on where we are right now. Let's come together. It's getting there. We're on bag 14, and here is all the minifigures. I do need to take them off of here, but I just put them on here to basically get out of the way, so it'd be easy storage. We're also going to be having a conversation with Rage and Alf, who are debating right now heavily over Knights of the Old Republic, especially with the announcement of a KOTOR remake, not remaster, remake. So they said they didn't want to take over the stream. I have no problem with that. As everybody knows, I like talking. So it is perfectly fine with me. Let's just go ahead and figure it off and shall continue. Because we still have more minifigures to go. So here's the question. Do I unmute them now? Let's go ahead and
the Republic's benefit, it's her benefit. So, and even the previous Supreme Chancellor, which is deposed or killed by the bounty hunter. I think it's the bounty hunter. Or is it the smuggler?
No, the bounty hunter is the one that takes out the chancellor.
Yeah, but the no. Wait. Yeah,
bounty hunter takes out the chancellor because you decided with the Jedi that you go on a fight.
Yeah,
and kill all your friends.
Yeah, that master, that Jedi master. That's after that.
Because you take him out, then you meet and he allows you to collect the bounty.
Yeah, but
he places a bounty on the Darth that you're working with, so you can do a double collection bounty thing on it.
Yeah, but the campaign that he sets, you know, coming up with all those lies that basically is the reason. He admits it in the end, even if you do the light side choices. He admits it, that everything that they try to do bad things for the greater good, as if taking out the bounty hunter was the greater good or something like that. So yeah, the Republic is not a good entity. The story, the trooper story is predicated on that. Even the way that the Republic military handled the situation with the Havoc squads that caused them to defect. Of course, the defection isn't correct, but we all see stuff like that usually occurring as well. Where governments aren't really.
Well, see, and the smuggler story shows it because when you do the double agent thing, and then you find out was it a drug or an implant or something that actually makes you work for them, even though you're supposed to be a double agent working against them, then they drug or something that makes them work for them instead.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always
to play the agent story, but it's like that whole twist back and forth and back. When I got to the end of it, I was like, okay, what's the next twist? Because there were so many, I was just waiting for more to come up.
Yeah, there's all of this stuff.
So what you're saying basically is the Republic is the root of all evil.
Big governments are the root of all evil. Big governments are the root of all evil. Not that big corporations aren't that as well. Come on, it's that premise, you know, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolute. So the more power you have, the more vulnerable you are to its trappings.
True. Very true.
I mean, look at the Zerka Corporation.
Yeah. Do we really need to go to the Star Wars universe? There's a lot of examples right here in the real world as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was all
the corporations being evil.
Yeah, Amazon.
Amazon for one.
That's what I mean. Let's be honest. That's what New World is. It's what Jeff Bezos wants the world to turn into. Everybody fighting everybody for some mysterious power.
So yeah, the Republic should.
I would laugh if that all came up. Well, he ate a bad cookie. That's why he was corrupted. I hate macadamia nuts.
How could you?
Because I don't like macadamia nuts.
It's not for everybody. They're better toasted. Get you some toasted nuts.
Yeah.
So, with KOTOR, I think what you were saying, Alf, as far as the combat goes, they're gonna have the OG combat system there for people who want it. I, for one, am not one of those people. So hopefully
I don't think it'll be turn-based like the old one. It's going to be similar. It'll be more like what we have in Sportsburg than it'll be the old turn-based.
No, I think you will have the turn-based option as well.
Yeah, because isn't that
makes sense.
isn't that an option available for Final Fantasy VII too?
Yeah, but that was made by the original creator of the game.
Right, but I'm saying, couldn't you play it with the old combat system and the new combat system, or was it just flat out just a mix of the two?
I think you can play either way. I think.
Like, give me a combat system, hell, like the Force Awakens. The Force Unleashed. I think that was a better combat system.
Well, see, it's coming out for a console, so which one's going to work best for console?
Well, the original came out for console first.
Yeah, Xbox.
KOTOR? I thought KOTOR was PC, then ported to console.
No, PC and Xbox.
PC and Xbox 360.
No, I think.
No,
it was
wait,
the
OG
original Xbox.
OG Xbox. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, and that's why LucasArts didn't let Obsidian, because Obsidian had a patch for ready to go. That's where most of the restored mod content came from. Obsidian had a patch ready to go for the PC, but LucasArts didn't let them because they couldn't patch the Xbox version. So instead of letting the PC guys play a proper game, no, everybody's gonna play a bad game, which is an awesome idea, really.
Can't you get the patch now?
Oh, you could. I think Obsidian found a way later on to allow the patch to be released. It wasn't as soon as they wanted. I think it was a year after or 6 months after or something like that. Pretty much nobody was paying attention.
See, and that's why I was hoping, when I saw it was coming out, I was hoping it would have been gone back to Obsidian. Because what's the game Obsidian does now? Is it Badlands or whatever, or something like that? Borderlands. What's Obsidian's big game right now?
Borderlands.
Borderlands. That I was hoping they'd go back to Obsidian, because I thought Obsidian did the better game of the two. Well, at least the story I like better, I should say.
Well, the studio that has it now, minus Sony, they were involved from the beginning as well. So
they did the mobile ports, so they know the games.
Yeah, they know the game. So
the games that we get on phone and tablet, on Google Play and the App Store, are made by Aspyr. It's Aspyr, right?
yeah, Aspyr.
So they know the games. They probably have been working on this. Well, even if not officially, they've probably been thinking and planning and about this for a long time. I'd wager.
Yeah, because they had to put in a major business case on why they should be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's the highest selling Star Wars game of all time. Why? They're not just gonna wait and be like, okay, you studio, you can do it. You have no experience.
Well, see, it's also got one of the biggest characters outside of the movies.
Exactly.
In Revan.
One might say the biggest. I think he's probably on par with Thrawn.
I was gonna say Thrawn, but I was gonna say Mara Jade's probably still bigger than both of them.
Mara,
Till she was Luke's wife.
Listen, I love Mara Jade. I love basically because she's a redhead, but I love Mara Jade. But Thrawn is on a different level.
Yeah, Thrawn is a god.
Yeah, but I mean, no, Mara Jade might be bigger because she was Luke's wife.
I'll
In the
give
old
you
media.
that, but I'm gonna say fan base wise, Thrawn is that dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thrawn is
Thrawn is up there. That's what I mean. It's
Helen Carter
it's
is
almost
also a
toss-up
pretty
between
big
the three of
character.
them, really. I would say it's a toss up between the three: Revan, Thrawn, Mara Jade. It just depends on which section of the fan base you're talking to as to which one they say is the biggest.
Yeah. Well, those two are basically, you know, expanded universe, or well, Legends as it's called now. So, if you're a fan of the expanded universe, you're a fan of those two. And Booster Derek, Corin Horn, Talon Karta, the Rogue Squadron guys. If
Well, Rogue
Kyle
Squadron
Katarn.
is about to
Still
be
love Kyle
canon.
Yeah.
Katarn.
if you like the old Republic type of stuff, you're probably more into Revan, the Naga Sadao, and all those. What was
Yeah,
the
Naga Sadao, Ludo Crash.
what was the Jedi? What was
Marka
the-
Ragnos, Revan, Malak.
Those two Jedi that
You really didn't
that
have a
turned to
lot
the
of big
dark
Jedi
side.
except for
No.
yeah, you're talking about the twins.
Yeah, the twins. Well, he went to the dark side. She didn't, right? I haven't read the comics in ages, so I don't really.
Yeah, he went to the dark, but then went back to the light. There at the end. That
He
was
had
the
a
great
name like
hyperspace war.
he had a similar name to Skywalker or something like that, right?
Gav Daragon and
Dark Lighter or something like that.
Dark. You're thinking Big Dark Lighter. That was
No, not the. It's some weird name. I really don't remember it.
And
though.
Star Killer was the Mandalorian.
Might have been
Bendak Star Killer.
It might have been no, but it was the.
Gav Daragon and Jory, because you got their armor in the game. The twins and he turned to become an apprentice for Nagasado.
Right.
And during the Great Hyperspace War, and then right there before the end, when they get ready to come back to Korriban, he betrayed Nagasado, which is why the Republic was able to win the battle at Empress Tana.
See, I don't remember that. Thank you for the refresher, honestly. Like Alf said, it's been so long.
Okay, so there's Uli Queldroma and who are the other?
There you
Yeah,
go.
okay.
The Keldroma guys. Yep, that's
It's
right.
the Sunriders. It's Numi's Sunrider and the brother who was his
Yeah.
name? Yeah, I think those are the ones.
You're talking about Nomi Sunrider and Oleg Keldroma. And he had another brother. That's right, because you could find their armor or their robes in KOTOR 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Didn't
those
you find his robes like in the cave on Korriban, helping the initiates that hid, that were hiding in the cave from the Terentatic?
I don't remember.
Ooh, that one I have to look that one up.
I was thinking you could find it down there because it was the best robes up until the Starforge robes, as far as stats.
Goonie Google.
So Hulik had a brother. I think it was Uli Queldroma and Kai Queldroma. I think they were brothers. They were the Sunriders or something like that.
Yeah, but they didn't go back to the Great Hyperspace War. They were the
need to
time
read
of
that, I guess. Yeah, they were before that. They were from the original. Weren't they the ones, the part of the Jedi that found the original Sith? the original Sith race, because that's the first time that we had Dark Jedi and the
Yeah,
fight
you're talking about
between-
when they got. I was thinking back to the time when they exiled. It'd be the 100-Year Darkness, when they exiled Karnas Moor and Ajunta Paul and Sorasan.
I don't know. I have to read all that. I have to read all that again because I have all the timelines mixed up.
Yeah, because I think they were during the time that they were the ones that were the Jedi that fought against Ajunta Paul and them and exiled them, which I think is why you found Keldroma's robes on Korriban, because it's when you was doing the tomb crawls through like Ajunta Paul and Karnas Moor and them that were on Korriban. But that would have been the 100-Year Darkness.
Yeah, I need to read all that again.
Honestly, probably with the lead up, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Well, it depends. Is it going to stay Legends? Is it going to be canonized?
Yeah, I was going to say, are they going to keep all that or
there-
not? That's the question.
Yeah, there's all the question, but there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of stuff in the Old Republic that most Star Wars fans are really not familiar with.
Not hip to, because they're not hip.
It's not really a question of being hip. A lot of it came out in comic book form, so
I know.
not a lot of people had access to it.
I can still troll them.
And I like how I watched this video where there's talking about the ancient, like the Sith of the Old Republic were not as strong as like during Palpatine's time in the movie. And I'm like, I think you got it backwards, because I think they were stronger and the technology was more advanced during the Old Republic era than it is during the movie era. Just because it's newer just because it's not as old in the timeline doesn't mean it's more advanced. Technology, there's a theory that technology will reach a plateau where eventually you can't go any higher. And so you go through waves of where it's better or worse depending on what is relevant to use at that time.
Right?
Maybe.
And so just because you have a Death Star that can pulverize a planet, okay, think of the consequences if you pulverize a planet. And I'm going to pull up Star Trek II for an example of this. Solar systems have a gravitic constant for that star. So each sun and each moon is part of that gravitic equation in the solar system. If you destroy a planet, you are changing the gravitic constant of that solar system. So what's the effect on the rest of the planets or even that star if you remove a celestial body from that constant?
Right?
Where the Old Republic, you wouldn't want to destroy it because you want the resources, because you were in a war that you needed resources. But in the movies, yeah, I'll destroy the planet because I don't care about the resources. I just want to sow fear. And so you don't care what happens to the rest of the solar system. You may destroy the whole solar system by destroying that planet. You don't care because it sows fear. You're not worried about resources. Where in the Old Republic, both sides are larger. You're fighting a larger war. So it's not just a war of ideology, but you're also fighting a war of resources. More like a World War II was.
Exactly.
The way
Maybe.
Rommel was defeated in World War II is because he lost his supply of fuel. So he couldn't run his tanks. That was resource war. If he didn't cut off his fuel, he probably would have won that section. Because he cut off his gasoline, he couldn't win because he had nowhere to fight.
Yeah. Well, you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you break your weakest link, you're
screwed.
pretty much.
So yeah, that's why I was like, I like the notion they were going on that thing. Well, because that's older, it must be weaker or less advanced. I'm like, that's not necessarily the case. Just because it's older doesn't mean it's less weak or it's weaker or not as strong. That doesn't mean things can't regress.
Yeah, I saw a video. I saw a similar video on I think it was Star Wars Theory. I think it was. That
Yeah,
channel.
I think it might have been.
They did a
Star Wars
video
talking
about the Ebon Hawk against the Millennium Falcon, and they also went on that tangent about the technological advancement, and I'm not really sure that it would be a factor because the ships are pretty similar. They have the same maneuverability, they have kind of the same shields, they have the kind of the same armor, they have kind of the same weapons. So is it really that different?
I think it would honestly come down to the pilot.
Yeah,
I
pilot,
think so, because
gunners, pretty
they're going
much.
on the
Yeah,
notion like we're more advanced than Egypt because that's our world order example. But when you're talking about a civilization that's been out in space for 20,000 years, are you really going to have that huge advancement over time? Or are you just going to have cycles where, well, this is relevant now, but it wasn't then, and then all of a sudden later it's relevant now, and this wasn't then? You're going to go through cycles of relevance, but you're not really being more advanced. You're just pretty much stagnant all the way across. So you're really not advancing, or you would regress more than you would advance. So you might have periods of where you regress and then you regain what you had, then you regress, and you regain what you had, and you regress. But you're not really advancing because you've hit that plateau. You can't go anymore. If you could go anymore, they would be in other galaxies, not just stuck in this galaxy for 20,000 years.
well, why aren't they in other galaxies? One might ask. Because I don't see a limiting factor, honestly. What stops hyperdrive from going to another galaxy?
You
If
don't
you
know
think
where
about
it is.
it.
You don't know where it is. It's like if you go to the Dune universe, the reason that
Yeah, but the limitation isn't technological. It's
but I mean, no. I'm
it's
going
knowledge.
on the idea.
It's exploration.
Right.
There's one
but I
thing.
mean, no,
There's one thing in the expanded universe that you have, in the Legends universe, which is actually the trigger, or so they say, if I remember correctly, the trigger for the Yuzan Vong invasion that happens later on, which is Project Outbound Light. I think that's what it's called, which was a ship piloted by, commanded by a Jedi Master that went exploring the void between galaxies and trying to find another galaxy. So the technology exists that allows for it. Just
We don't have the
properly.
explorers.
yeah, it's not a limitation of technology. It's a limitation of. Think of it this way: everything in the galaxy is moving. The moon orbits the sun. The moon orbits the Earth, which orbits the sun, which orbits the galactic center, which theoretically would orbit the center of the Big Bang. So
Right.
everything is moving. Everything is constantly moving. So that's why I said I use an example from the Dune universe. For to use the drive to fold space from one point to another means you have to be able to re-enter where there is nothing there. If you re-enter where a body has moved into it, you have mutual detonation or destruction. So to do that technologically to go to another galaxy, you may be able to see it on the map, but okay, we're going to jump from here to there, but you got to know when you emerge on the other side, are you going to be in free open space where you're not colliding with an object, whether it be a comet or a meteor or a moon or a planet or a black hole or a nebula.
right.
And so it's not a matter of the technology not being able to get there. It's a matter of what's there that I don't emerge into. And it goes back to Han Solo. It's not like it's not like besting crops. You can bounce too close to the star or come out through a supernova and you end your trip because you miscalculated where you come back out.
Right. But well, there's a difference in the type of technology being used in this case, because in Dune, you don't move through hyperspace.
Yeah,
You-
but I wasn't
You basically
using-
fold space and you disappear from one place and you appear in another. So
yeah, but I wasn't
that's
trying to make the
easier.
argument with the technology.
No,
was
I
just trying to
get
make
that.
the
I
argument
get that.
of You got to know
Just
where
that-
you come back out.
Yes, but if you the folding technology or something similar like that is easier in that regard because you don't have to go through a straight line. You just disappear in one place and appear in another. One of the IPs that I like, which is called BattleTech, also has space travel, and they have technology similar to that. And what they use, so they use jump ships to jump from one system to another,
Uh-huh.
and they jump to specific points in a star system, which is directly above or directly below the star because there's no planets there. It's
Yeah,
called
they jump into a specific known point.
yes, where there's not supposed to be anything there. It's not that there won't be anything there.
It's just you've got a higher possibility of nothing.
Something
being
might
there.
be wrong. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In science fiction, there's three types of propulsion system. There is the what you call a bubble or warp system, like Star Trek, where
Yep.
you create this bubble
Which
that
is
allows
probably
you
more likely.
to travel in your normal space, but it bends the rules of physics so that you can travel faster than light.
Bends, but
Then you
doesn't break.
have a hyperspace drive like you have in Star Wars, where you have an alternate plane of dimension where you jump to it where the laws of physics are less, so you can actually travel faster than light, requiring less energy to do it, and then
Yep.
reemerge back in real space. That is hyperspace, or like
Yes.
a Rosen bridge or Rosenstein.
Einstein Rosen
bridge.
bridge.
Yeah,
like
Einstein
Stargate.
Rosen bridge. And then there's a jump drive, which basically you just go from point A to point B,
Yes.
and you don't traverse anything straight line or anything. So those are the three kinds of propulsion systems in science fiction. And most everything has, you can have all the different names, but they can have different names and kind of different variations, but there's basically the three general ideas of what they are, and then you can have combinations or whatever, or call them different names as you do science fiction. But there's the three basic types are those.
Yes. Yes. The warp engines, I think, are the ones that we will probably get to quicker, because they're
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
the technology behind it is already understood. We know how they work, even if we don't know how to make them. But basically, we just create gravitic fields that means that the ship, the space behind us expands, and the space in front of us shrinks, or something like that. I think that's the way it works.
It's kind of like doing like I said, it's kind of a bubble where you
you manipulate the gravitic energies basically, so that the space in front of you shrinks, so you can go faster than the speed of light. That's
right. So you
I
kind of
think.
bending, or the idea of the warp drive is that you're warping
Space.
time to allow you to travel
Yes.
through at faster than light without running into the E equals MC squared dilemma.
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
And that's where they come up with the bubble. So like the vessel that you're traveling in is not affected, even though space around it is. And so you kind of have this bubble that keeps you from aging or not aging or whatever, as far as Einstein's theory of relativity is.
Yeah, but the limitation isn't really technological, I think, for them to be, still stuck. I think it's more it's more of artistic license. We want to keep them here, and this is where we are. In a long time, in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, and I still get a kick out of the ideas because we're assuming that everything is based on mathematics, and I always get a kick out of some of the fiction out there. So I'm like, oh, I feel so sorry for you. You still think mathematics is what the galaxy is based on. I'm sorry. You're limited because that's what you think. It'd be funny if we go out there and find out, yeah, that's not true. We think it is now, but it'd be funny when we actually get there. Yeah, we were wrong all along.
Well, it will always, in a way, be true. It might just not be the mathematics that we know, the physics that we know. We assume that 1 equals 1. We might come to the conclusion that 1 in fact does not equal 1, or something. That it's possible for 1 to equal 2, or 1 to equal -1, or something like that.
That's still assuming we're on the right path right now to begin with.
Oh yeah. But our knowledge if we look at quantum physics and the properties of quantum entanglement and all of that, that doesn't really make much sense in the way that we look at classical physics. Because if two particles are entangled, you know that when one is spinning on one way, the other is spinning on the opposite way. If you change the spin on one, you're going to change the spin on the other, even if they're separated by astronomical distances. The change is instantaneous. That's not supposed to happen. How is the information getting from one to the other? We don't know. We really don't know. But it is true. We don't know how it works, but we know that it does work. We know that when the electrons are entangled, that the information travels faster than light. How? We don't know, but we know it does. We know it does. So our understanding is still very, very, very limited.
I'm put it like this: we don't understand shit, really. We're such a young society. You know, just Earth in general. We're so young compared to so many other things. Like, what do we truly understand? Theories are great.
The thing is, we're making all these assumptions. We've only been to the moon, and we haven't been back there for over 50 years. And right now, I don't even know if we could get back there if we tried.
We could.
But
don't
I don't know.
We don't
have
have.
to go back to 1960s technology because I don't know if our modern technology could do it.
Well, you can do it. It'll probably be cheaper, but you don't have the rockets that we have right now and the spaceships that we have right now.
I'm not
are
talking about the
designed.
rockets. I'm talking about keeping people alive that long.
No, we don't have the. We'd have to build it, but it is expensive. But the thing, we could get there. You couldn't get there with the space shuttle, for example.
We have right now is based towards social media and computer games. Will we actually be able to return it to going back to a mission to Mars or a mission to the moon, or do we have to revert back to 1960s technology and start over from scratch again?
No, you could, because you're sending probes to Mars and all that. We said probes.
Mars is not a person to the moon.
True. The weight is different, which is why we will have to build rockets similar to those Saturn rockets that we had in the past.
That's what I mean. We'd probably have to go backwards to come forwards again, because our current technology is not built around keeping a person alive.
Well, the basis is the same. Alive. The basis is the same, although you do have better computation and better technology, so you probably be able to do it with either smaller rockets, or you could carry a bigger payload because you need computers so heavy. Most of the stuff that you would. So, for example, if you built a lunar module, it will be much more compact than it was back then. So you probably get to build a smaller rocket than those Saturn V monsters.
Yeah,
but yeah, the propulsion basis would be the same. Yeah, because it still is.
I think we'd have to go backwards to go forwards. I think we'd have to revert back because our advances in technology have been towards social media, things here, but nothing towards actual exploration like we used to. I think we'd have to go backwards to old technologies to move forward.
I don't think you have to go backwards. You probably have to go backwards to go faster. So if you wanted to get to the moon in like 5 years, you would have to, and I'm assuming that 5 years is possible, you'd have to build one of those rockets and something similar to that. But remember, we have a plan. I mean NASA, of course. Humanity has a plan to get to Mars in, what is it, 2035, 2040, something like that?
We've been working on this plan for 20 years and we haven't progressed.
So, yeah, but my point is they're planning on building rockets and spaceships and capsules and landers to get us to Mars. So it wouldn't be that much of an adaptation to get to the moon.
What I'm trying to get at though is
as well with that technology, which is current technology.
But I'm
the older technology back then.
Rocket technology has not changed.
What's up, bro?
Much.
No, it's still basically the same.
like what you have. Your phone is more advanced than what we had 20 years ago.
Oh yeah.
But the actual science technology for rocketry or space vehicles has remained stagnant.
True.
So I don't know if we have the
Well, it's
mindset
not
to
stagnant
actually
per
go, we have
se.
to go
I don't
back
think
to go forward.
we didn't have reusable rockets back then like you do now. That's a big change. It reduces the cost a lot. You know, if you can get things in orbit a lot cheaper. I think we still need something better. Like, I don't know, maybe something like a space elevator or something, which would be excellent. Even if we don't exactly have the technology to build something light and strong enough. You know, carbon nanotubes is the best solution, but I'm not sure that there's enough
Are you
of it.
thinking of something like in the Halo universe?
It's a space elevator. It's a basic. It's well, a basic sci-fi technology. So to
Yeah,
speak. So
but
basically
they've
it's a
used it
giant
like
elevator that puts things in orbit, and then you build the ships up there and you send them.
Yeah,
They don't have to cost nearly as much because
but nobody's
the main
working on it.
expense is getting things out of the gravitic field of the planet.
true.
But nobody's working on it. You got a space station that's been up there. An international space station is how old? It's not been advanced. It's not been improved upon.
No.
In what, the 20 years it's been up there?
Yeah.
We haven't really done anything with it. It's been up there for 20 years or longer.
The focus has shifted.
And-
You're right about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The focus. We're more concerned about improving our computers we game with, or our telephones, or our tablets, than we are about actually advancing technology and exploration. So
And you know what? And you know why that is, right?
We're going to have to probably go backwards to relearn it to go forward again.
And you know why that is, right? Because the
Uh,
Cold War ended.
Yeah, that's part of it, but it's also
The biggest drive in space exploration was the competition between East and West, between the United States and the Soviet Union. Get to the moon faster, get the rockets, get the ICBMs. That's where a lot of the
that's a part of
technology.
it.
The Americans didn't want the Russians to get to the moon first. Imagine if
That's the
the
beginning
Russians-
of it.
the Russians
But-
built a space station on space or a colony on the moon, and they could shoot lasers and send missiles from up there and all that.
Yeah, that was the beginning of it, but that was the Cold
So
War
when-
was over when Pathfinder happened.
The Cold War ended, and all of a sudden there's no
The
need
motivate. Just
know,
look at it like
to
this.
race into space.
I
You
mean,
can just
no,
leisurely
I mean,
walk into
Pathfinder
space. We
happened
don't have to
after
race
Cold War.
anymore.
The motivation is gone.
Yes.
the motivation is gone. But I mean, no, Pathfinder happened after the Cold War. We haven't been back to the moon since 1973, 74, which
So-
was long before the end of the Cold War.
But remember, one of the biggest drawbacks in the space program, in my opinion, in the opinion of many people, was the space shuttle. Because while you had those rockets, which weren't reusable, yes, but they had a lot more power and allowed you to go higher. The space shuttle couldn't go as high. It was basically low Earth orbit. So when the shift changed to the space shuttle, the height that we used to go to shifted. And
Yeah,
started-
we still don't leave Earth's. Technically, we don't leave Earth's atmosphere.
Nope.
We haven't left Earth's atmosphere since the Apollo program, because everything is technically still within Earth's atmosphere. It's very thin, very little atmosphere up there, but technically,
Yeah.
the space station is at the edge of Earth's atmosphere.
Well,
Yeah.
that actually depends because the space station lowers and rises within the orbit, depending.
Right, but I mean, no, it's still like 100 miles inside the border of the atmosphere,
I think it's closer than that.
closer to the edge of the atmosphere.
No, closer on the inside.
That's
Because
what I'm talking about. It's closer to Earth than it is to the edge of the atmosphere.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's still well within the atmosphere. It's not actually left Earth's atmosphere. It's not even close.
Yes.
and it's not
This is
going
why-
to
and
because
this is
they're
why we've seen a lot of the advances that we have had in recent years have been privately funded instead of government funded, with SpaceX and other companies. because they see the value in it. They know that if they invest a boatload of money, if they imagine if a private company gets the ability to go to the asteroid belt,
Hmm.
collect materials from there. Just imagine how much money they're gonna make out of that.
That's the true reason behind it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Alf.
that won't happen in our lifetime.
No, it won't.
it
I'm
won't.
not saying it won't,
Yeah.
but it is a motivation, and it's a motivation that the governments don't have.
Because even to do a manned mission to Mars, I think that the ship is going to have to be built at a higher atmosphere or a higher orbit than the,
Oh, yeah.
than the space station.
Yeah,
there's-
it's gonna have
There's
to
no
be built in
political will
space.
to do that. Like I said, the space elevator would mean that the costs would drop astronomically after that, but you would have to build a thing. Similarly, if you built a space station, that would be more like a shipyard. If you build
Yes.
something like that up
Yep.
there, or if you build, even if you build a colony on the moon, that in itself would allow for you to go further than that. But the investment is higher. There's no political willpower to
It's not just political,
to
it's
spend that much
social.
money.
It's not just political, it's social. People
yeah.
don't care. People don't care. They're more worried about what
Their
the Kardashians
problems.
are doing on Instagram than
Well,
they are about advancing humanity.
Well, it's not
It's
just that. It's not just that. How can you justify spending billions or maybe trillions of dollars in a space station or in a space elevator when you have you don't have proper health care for everybody? You don't have a proper education for everybody. You know, it's when you
Honestly,
have so many people that are poor. It's not easy.
honestly, with something like that, it's gonna have to be a world effort. It's not gonna be just a nation. It's gonna have to be once. And like I said, it's not
forget
gonna
it.
be in our lifetime.
If
Or
you can't even agree,
Even the
we
next.
as a world,
No,
if
we
as
can't.
a world
That's why it's
cannot
not.
even agree on the necessity to vaccinate the entire world's population against a disease that rapidly mutates the further it goes along. How do you expect us to be able to do something like that?
Hell,
I
we
don't.
can't even agree on global warming. That's like it's happening, but you got people that deny it. And I'm like, and in most of the science we're doing with global warming is not about trying to fix it. It's just trying to put a band-aid on it. Oh, we're going to reduce greenhouse gases. Well, let's find out what caused it first. Why don't we also try to figure out what caused it, and why don't we try to fix it? You had Stephen Hawking going like, humanity will be extinct within 100 years if we don't go to another world. I'm like, okay, but that's assuming the other world you go to is going to be exactly what you need. Science fiction tells you you're probably going to have to terraform it. How are you going to terraform another planet if you don't even know how to terraform your own?
Yeah, well, we know how to warm a planet. That's going to be important. If you go to Mars,
Well,
for
we-
example, Mars is a lot colder. We're
Yeah,
going to
we
need
did
to
that
warm
without
it.
even trying. We did that without even trying.
Yeah, we know how to do that. You know, just nuke it. Crash a meteor full of ice on it. You know, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
But it's like we got these things. Well, we're going to slow global warming. Well, okay, if you're worried about it and you're still going to say that's not going to be enough, then why don't you figure out how to fix it or how to reverse it?
Mhm.
Because if you want to go to another world and terraform it, then learning how to correct global warming here would be a form of terraforming that allow you to fix other worlds if you have to go and finally explore them. So let's figure out how to terraform our own planet. Neil Tyson deGrasse even brought this up, but he goes like, we don't have the knowledge, or we don't have the desire to do that. We just want to put a band-aid on it.
No, that's not
Even
good.
deGrasse brought that up in one of his speeches one time. I was laughing. I'm like, he knows. Neil Tyson deGrasse knows, but you can't convince people that he's right.
This, let's face it, even if we did start using internal combustion engines and all of that, this would be the evolution of the human race would lead to this eventually. Not just technologically, but socially as well. Because let's face it, for thousands of years, we have been small in comparison in terms of population, because there's been great distances between countries. because there's been wars, because medicine has evolved. So you didn't need as much food for all the people. But medicine has evolved, so we live longer. We live longer. The population has been steadily increasing, especially since the end of the since the middle of the 20th century started having wars to solve everything.
Right.
And the population is increasing. The population increases, the emissions increase. You're gonna need food for all of those people, so
Mhm.
there's a lot more. There's a lot more being spent on producing the foodstuffs. The animals,
So your
even
nation,
the livestock, even the
nature is
livestock.
correcting.
We all talk about how the carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide being produced by cars and everything that is worrying, but we forget that methane is also a greenhouse effect gas. Cows and pigs produce tons of it,
Yep.
and even if you change all the cars to electrics, you're not going to fix that.
Nope.
Unless we have a massive shift on the way that we produce our food and the food that we eat, because there's 7 billion of us.
Which it's not gonna happen.
No, it's not going to happen fast. So yeah, we're not going to have to reverse things, because I don't think it's possible to reverse. We're going to have to adapt to what comes next. The seas are going to rise, species are going to go extinct, the weather patterns are going to change drastically, just like we're seeing. I don't know if we're going to get an ice age because of this, because planets shift in balance will trigger another ice age or something like that, but
It probably will.
we're going to have to adapt with this. This happens gradually, normally, and we intensified it, we accelerated. This was probably going to happen anyway, maybe in 1,000 years or something, and it's happening in 100 or 200 years.
Yeah, a
instead.
couple hundred years.
It'll probably be an ice age that corrects it, because if you look at what it does, when the water that comes off the icebergs, and you talk about raising sea and the weather patterns, what's causing that is icebergs are fresh water.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you've ever done the experiment with fresh water and salt water in a glass, or put like saline solution, which is basically salt water in a glass, they separate, they don't mix.
Yes.
Salinity makes a big difference. Like if you go down below South America where the Atlantic and Pacific meet, there's a definitive line where the two oceans do not mix, because the salinity levels are different between the two oceans. So there's an actual line in the water between the Pacific and the Atlantic. Now you take all that fresh water dumping off these glaciers, that's where you have the different weather patterns coming in, because the fresh water is going through and affecting the wind temperature and everything come across, because fresh water will freeze, whereas salt water takes a lower temperature to freeze salt water than it does fresh water. The way it corrects because of an ice age is because as you get cooler, the fresh water will freeze and then float and gather up and become your glacial caps and so forth like that. And the salt water will remain free. And that's how you remove the fresh water from the saltwater oceans, is by an ice age. And that way, that's how you separate the two and get all the fresh water in one place and all the salt water in another. And so it'll probably go through an ice age again, because that's what the planet does to correct itself. And so that's probably how it will correct itself again, is go through an ice age to separate the water like it does.
Yes. Yes.
That's probably
until
exactly
then-
how it's gonna happen.
But until then, we're gonna keep seeing these.
Oh yeah, it's gonna
this
be
shift in the weather, but because there's a lot more cold water being pumped into the oceans. The Gulf Stream is gonna change drastically, and when that does, the weather patterns in Europe and North America, especially in the East Coast, like we've seen a lot, and lately is gonna change. We're gonna see things that were specific to a specific season Like there was a hurricane season and a typhoon season. That's probably gonna change, and we're gonna see those things happening pretty much anytime. So yeah, I don't think we can go back. I think we just can mitigate the effects and maybe prepare for it. I think it's gonna come anyway, whatever we do. Especially since I don't think we're doing much.
No, we're not doing anything. Or if anything is being done, we don't know about it.
Reducing greenhouse gases isn't going to change anything. It's not even going to slow it. All you're doing is a political thing.
Yep.
Because you don't know what the real cause is. Is it a solar flare? Is it an actual fluctuation? I know we accelerated it, but how did we accelerate? What process?
It's all of it. It's all of it.
Yeah, but how did we accelerate? What process in the natural process did we accelerate, and how did we accelerate that natural process? We don't know that. Without knowing that, all we're doing is putting a Band-Aid on something we don't know what we're putting a Band-Aid on.
It's basically like, oh, you've got a cut somewhere. Just douse yourself in a bottle of rubbing alcohol. Yeah, and hopefully you find it.
Without realizing, oh, I cut my femoral artery. I didn't realize it was that deep.
Right. That's literally what this is.
Yeah, putting a Band-Aid on a femoral artery wound is, that's just, you're not solving anything. All right,
but anything we do will help. I don't think it was just help enough.
Well, the thing is, okay, it might help slow it down. If you reduce
carbon emissions, you're gonna help.
Yeah, it'll help slow it down, but it's still gonna happen.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna have to do a lot of small things in order to add up to it. And I don't think if we have the means or the will to do all that.
I was gonna say, I think we have the means, we don't have the will. The world's too.
To reverse it, I don't think you have the means.
Well, we have the means to get there, to start towards that path. But what I'm saying is,
you're gonna get a different set of problems.
Yeah, you are. But the way the world.
Just give you an example. Electric cars.
Uh-huh.
The technology exists, and if people switch to electric cars, you're gonna have less emissions on the road. But
on the road,
if everyone has an electric car, you're gonna have a massive jump in power requirements in the electrical grid. Where is that power gonna come from?
Exactly.
Unless you have enough renewable energy sources like wind, solar, hydro, God forbid even nuclear, which is getting a revival recently, you're not going to have enough capacity to produce all that electricity without burning coal and without burning gas.
Mm-hmm.
The same way, instead of burning them in the cars, you're just going to burn them in the electrical plants.
Exactly.
The same thing about the food. It's very nice to say, okay, let's switch to vegetarian, but there is not enough production of soy and tofu and all of those vegetarian type food to feed the entire world, and it's not cheap either. So a lot of the poor people cannot afford anything.
No, switch. Like I once myself personally looked at switching to a vegetarian, not full-on vegetarian, but majority fruits and vegetables with what is it, vegan, vegetarian, fish, where you can eat fish and chicken or something, but it's too expensive.
Yes, that's the point. So the technology exists, the means exist, but there's no easy way to do it because there's no production for it. If everybody switched like they want, like a lot of people suggest, we wouldn't have the capacity to handle all of that because we're not geared up to that. So it's not really easy, cows and pigs are bad for the environment, are worse for the environment than chicken and fish, but there's not enough fish and chicken being produced to compensate for all the beef and pork that we would lose.
Yep. And I mean, not just that, it's the cost alone.
Yes. Yeah.
You've got people
because
struggling to even afford a bag of rice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you expect all these people just to immediately switch to a healthy diet. Granted, I'm pretty sure the majority of people, like I'm one of them, want to be on an extremely healthy diet and all of that, but then you look at the cost factor that's involved, it's not possible for most. Like you said, we don't have that production of soy, we don't have production of
No,
this.
we don't. There's even if you look at most of the vegetables and fruits that are produced, they use cheaper and specific types of manure and pesticides and all that stuff. There's all those what are they called? The things that are produced that are naturally grown. I think there's a name for them.
Organic.
Organic, yeah.
Honestly, organic's just a word to make something more
organic,
expensive.
Yeah, kind of, because you can't produce as much.
Nope.
The things that you use to produce them are obviously more expensive as well, because they're not so common. Because we are streamlined to save costs on the things that are more highly consumed, and since these things are not so highly consumed, they're more expensive. And more expensive means that people are not gonna shift to them unless they can afford to.
And hell, even people that can afford to, because let's be real, I probably can afford to, but it's such a... So say I make that transition, but then I lose the ability to afford that, and I've got to go back to basically eating crap.
Yeah.
That could be worse for me in the long run than just staying technically on the crap.
I think we'll get there. I think the prices and the availability of these things will drop as more people start consuming them, but it's not going to be
in our lifetime.
The radical shift that most people want them to be.
No, it's not.
Well, the thing with organic growing though is you also don't get the yields, which is why
Exactly.
farms in the Midwest don't do it, because instead of getting 200, say do it in corn, instead of getting 220 bushels an acre, you only get 80 bushels an acre.
Yes, exactly, and that again leads to the problem that you're gonna have. You're never going to get enough production for the entire world or a significant part of the population
there
to
you
shift
go,
to that kind of behavior.
Yeah, as I was going to say, it goes right back to what you said earlier about when we have become basically overpopulated.
Yes.
That's why I was joking. It's like, so you're saying nature is correcting itself. And
Yes.
It's like, that's kind of true.
If you look at it, it's a pretty callous way to look at it. But if you look at the past, the advances in medicine, that means that we can live longer. The advances in culture and society, that means that we no longer solve our issues with wars, means that the population has boosted. Back then, this wouldn't be a problem. If we were still fighting each other and killing each other, we would, in a way, keep the population in balance where this wouldn't be so much of an issue. It's a callous way of looking at it. The peaceful times that we live in the more healthier times that we live in with better health, and it's also what's gonna end up impacting our life and the life of the planet. So yeah, ironic in a way.
It is. It's kind of like, and this leads back to, I'm gonna hop into the Marvel universe. Was Thanos right?
No.
You don't think so?
No. You know why? Because you kill half the population of the universe,
Mm-hmm.
you solve the immediate problem. 2,000,
Don't solve
3,000,
it with
4,000
just
years
one.
later, it's gonna be the same thing all over again. So you're gonna have to do another massive culling. So you're not. It's like you're solving the immediate problem. You're not solving the root of the problem. The way that he does things, just by killing half the population,
Right. Okay.
he's
So
not fixing things. He's
let
just,
me let me
he-
rephrase.
he's just pushing the problem further into the future because you're gonna get there as well.
But
a few thousand
let me
years.
rephrase it this way. Okay. So let's look at it like this. Was he trying to fix the immediate problem? Yes. But was he probably thinking about the root of the problem? Probably not.
No, he wasn't.
So,
Clearly, wasn't.
in theory, he was
But that's part of his. That's part of his madness.
right.
It was the Mad Titan, not because of. Not that he was wrong about what he wanted to achieve, which was a proper balance to the universe, but the way he was doing it was all wrong because he didn't fix. He wouldn't fix anything.
True.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Wouldn't really. He was partially right. One might
Thank
say.
you. I'll take that.
He wouldn't fix the problem. That was my point. But he was right that the universe would probably need the balance. But he wouldn't fix it.
The universe was out of whack.
Yes. Which means that he did a massive mistake when after he killed half the
Well, he was also
universe.
going in the assumption
He-
that
he
every
destroyed
world with
the-
life was running into the same problems,
Yes. Yes.
which would not be true.
No, it wouldn't. And how much would another point might be how much are all the planets and star systems that are devoid of life not compensating for the overpopulation of the other star systems? Because if races evolve enough to expand out into the universe and to the star system and then the galaxy, isn't the overpopulation and the overconsumption of resources mitigated? Because all of a sudden you have a greater pool of resources available. Right?
You're right.
So I think he had a simplistic way of looking at the problem and a simplistic way of fixing the problem.
Oh, I didn't say he was correct in the way. Okay, yeah, this makes it easier for me to explain. He wasn't correct in the way of fixing it, but his thinking, as far as everything being taxed and things are gonna run out, I think that was right. Now the way he went about quote
kind
unquote fixing it, no, I don't agree with that at
A
all.
lot of the assumption is also going like every solar system has a habitable world with life just like ours, and there's millions of planets
Yeah.
that way. And it's not true because you're going to have some star systems that have lifeless planets. And not every solar system in the galaxy is going to have life like us and have this.
Yes, and not even that. There's even a greater truth, so to speak, that's behind everything that he ignores. How many, just using a current example, not of the Marvel universe, how many extinction level events have there been on Earth?
How many have we had on this planet alone?
Yes, I think we're on 8 or 9, something like that.
Yep.
The
Something
last
like
one,
that.
the last one that killed the dinosaurs 65 million years ago, 90-something% of all life was killed. 95% of all animal life was killed, and the planet got back in shape. The planet got teeming with life all over again. So there are cycles in everything. So how much would the universe itself and the planets itself and the solar systems itself correct the problems and fix the problems? even the things that we are doing that might eventually lead to our own extinction or a major shift in the way that we live, will we make the planet completely devoid of life? Highly improbable. The planet survived a lot worse than what we have done to it. So, in a few million years, maybe life will be teeming again on the planet. Which means maybe the universe has a way of correcting these things itself and keeping these things in balance, all by itself, without the actions of a mad titan.
Yeah, but that kind of thinking doesn't sell movies and books, damn it.
No.
No, not at all.
You're right about that. Even if, let's face it, in the comics, his motivation is a lot more interesting. In my opinion, is a lot more interesting.
What it did is it made him a very interesting villain.
Because in the comics,
he wasn't just evil for being evil. He had a reason. Whether his reasoning was flawed, he still had a reason for doing it. And as are always the good villains that.
yeah, but I like.
It's just he's corrupted, so that's why
Yes.
he's evil, or she's evil because someone looked at her funny. There's
But
some.
That's why I like the comics a little bit better, because in the comics he's doing this basically to impress a girl. So
Yeah,
That's one of the reasons I got tired of World of Warcraft, because every villain was a corrupted person. I was like, can you have somebody? I wanted Darth Jaina for after Warlords of Draenor. I thought we was gonna have Darth Jaina. It was like finally an antagonist that was not corrupted by some demon goo. And instead, they didn't go that way. They went with Legion. They went right back to the same old pattern. I quit playing Warcraft way back then because it got boring. And so I lost interest in that lore and that storyline, because to be bad, you had to be corrupted, and the only way to be bad was to be corrupted. And it's like, that's so one-dimensional. I'm tired of it. I quit playing it.
yeah.
So what you're
There's
saying
so
is you're
many-
not corrupted.
He stepped in the green goo. Oh no, he's the bad guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that way of story is so over fucking played.
That's Fell, man. That Fell is. Ooh. It's bad stuff.
Like, I mean, so looking at Thanos again, even the comic character, the reason he was evil, death, his infatuation with death. Like the whole Infinity
Yeah.
Gauntlet thing was because of death. So
Yeah, but
Yeah.
why did that happen? Because he watched his own world die,
Yeah.
and that's where it came from.
he was born evil. I mean, he killed his own mom, right? He killed, was his mom or dad? He killed somebody and he enjoyed it. So
Right.
it's like he wasn't corrupted. He was born that way, as Lady Gaga would say. So I think regardless which Thanos you love the most, the comic book one or the
it's not-
MCU one, they both have great reasonings behind
Oh yeah. That's
the
for sure.
villain.
That's for sure. My point is just that the motivations of the comic one
Are different.
are more understandable. He wants to impress a girl.
I mean, they're both I'm gonna argue back with you. They're both understandable. Yeah, one he
No,
wants
I'm
to
not
impress
saying
a
that
girl.
these but
He
if you
wants-
just argue with him, and point out to him, okay, let's, for the sake of argument, so I'm talking to Thanos, for the sake of argument, let's say that you kill half of the universe's population and you restore balance. What then? Oh, then things are in balance. Okay, so what happens in 5,000 years or 10,000 years, or whatever it takes for the populations to get back into the same thing as they are now? Are you going to do it all over again? So you didn't fix the problem, you just postponed it.
No, you're correct on that. So I'm gonna go back to
So
what you're
if you
saying
just,
is
if you just argue with him, he's gonna obviously think, okay, so if this is a problem, I probably I need to fix it in another way, which
right,
probably would not involve genocide.
right. But so just to kind of clarify it, is that the comic book Thanos is more relatable on his motivation because he's trying to get laid, basically.
Yes, yeah, and I don't think you could dissuade him as easily from achieving his goal, from killing half of the world, half of the universe,
Okay.
because you're not going to convince him. No, come on, look at that thing. That's a skeleton. What the hell do you see in that? I don't
Yeah,
think you're
man,
gonna
that's
convince
oof. And bro, she's in love with Deadpool. Like you ain't got no chance. So
Yeah, because with one Thanos, you're arguing with his logic. On the other one, you're gonna argue with his heart, with his passion, with what he loves. Well, love and passion isn't really about logic, is it? You love who you love. Even if you're misguided, you love who you love.
true. I'm gonna be honest
Logic.
with y'all today. This Lego stream is doing horrible. I'm still gonna keep going, but it's doing horrible. Yeah, I gotta figure out this YouTube shit. That's why I was like, please don't go anywhere. Please stay, talk. Let's talk more. So predictions for the SWOTOR expansion. They left me.
I don't know if it's going to happen, but I hope it involves the Darksaber and the Mandalorian thing we talked about earlier. I'm really hoping that's where it goes. I don't know if it'll do that, but I would really like to see that happen.
I don't think it will go there just as soon as the expansion comes out. I think this is based on mostly the operation that we're gonna get, which is, I assume, regarding the mass shadow generator.
The operation's not on the PTS, is it?
No,
Thank God.
no, I don't think the operation will come out at launch. I think the
Well,
operation.
not only that, they don't put the story elements into TTS, do they? I think they just do the mechanics to play through the
Yeah,
mechanics, not
yeah.
the story elements.
Yeah, I think it's just the mechanics as well.
I've been every
Uh,
post I see that says something about the PTS. I've been avoiding like the plague, like Corona.
No, it's mostly about the mechanics. The
Yeah, it's
changes
like when
on
if you went and did the flashpoint, the Tatooine flashpoint, you could go through the building, but anything that was lore clickable was missing in the PTS.
I still have to do that last flashpoint. You know what? I might actually do that tonight on my main. I have not done that one yet.
You haven't done that yet? Slacker.
It's a fun one.
I loved it. I kept going through, going like, I remember this from the first game. It was like when I played Terrace. It's like, I remember this. I remember this. I was here. This person was here at this place.
It's fun. Except the part where you have to farm for that achievement.
I got them all. I finally got all of them, including the creatures.
Yeah, that's the one I have to do. I still haven't done that one.
I had to use the tactical that I got from the swoop riding event that boosts your acceleration.
Yeah, I'll probably use it with a sorcerer so that I can use the phase walk, which you can do for a couple of them. So I'm probably gonna have to do that one. You have to do it 5 times, right?
No. For the 3 creatures, you just got to get the box and get it to the correct creature, but you've got like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
2 of them are easy, but with the first one, it's like way up by the ship, and there's no shortcut to get to that place. So you got to run it perfect
Yeah.
to get there.
So y'all down to
Clear
do
all
it
the
later on
trash
tonight?
first.
After your football game, Rich?
Okay, I'll be right back.
If you're down to do it tonight, I'm down.
Yeah, I can.
I know
Because the
you
football
got.
game's coming up soon.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said after the game.
Yeah. Because I've been kind of playing around on my warrior on Starforge right now. Just I'm getting ready to get Jason. I made her light-sided.
Light side. Light side Jace is not fun.
You can romance her. Well, if you haven't played Tatooine, I'm not going to run it. But yeah, when you get later, you can romance her, light-sided and dark-sided.
She's so much more fun dark side.
But I'm not romancing her anyway. I'm going after Lana.
Everybody always on Lana. Lana.
Lana,
Marsha,
Lana, Lana, Lana.
Marsha. I don't know. I'm just,
Lana is a lot of fun. She actually is a lot of fun. She's kind of like Kira levels of fun.
oh. Color me intrigued. Honestly, I don't even know what my main. Ooh, I have to look at that. I don't know who my mains. Is there a way to see which one you're involved with?
On your commando,
Yeah.
it'd be Alara Dorn.
Is it though? Because Alara's gone.
Well, you can start another one, but when she comes back, then you're gonna have to break up with one of them.
Where, if she come, doesn't it
Well,
all rely on
unless
choices?
you betray the Republic on Iocath, she comes back.
I don't remember. I'd have to see. I don't know if, in fact, everything that I've done. So I think after this, because I got to see how many bags I've got left, because I want to get at least one more stream off of this one. Because I think I'm nearing the end. If you actually, oops. Son of a bitch.
See, Dark Jaina is fun, but I like the whole thing when you find out she finds out you're light, Nomenkar's dark, and she's all confused. I like that part of that conversion.
I just gotta look at some more to see, because I don't even know where like pot is as far as the I think that's what, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Did you do the Mandalorian one?
Yeah, I did the Mandalorian one. I haven't done anything after that.
You killed Tenebrae then, right?
Huh?
You killed Tenebrae?
Tenebrae.
Tenebrae, the Emperor.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, where you had to fight him in the final battle was Vicorian, then Vitiate, then Tenebrae.
Yeah, I did do that.
Okay, you did do that. So you've got probably a couple little local chapter, conversation chapters. Then it should be that Dantooine, Secrets of the Enclave.
Okay, so yeah, I think I'm gonna do that tonight. I like how my cat just like ran across the top of my chair like, "What's up, Dad? I'm a parrot cat." She's the reason I got a new damn chair too. If y'all saw what she did to my chair before this one. Oof. I don't even know if leather was a good damn choice for the new couches and stuff. Cause so I think after this bag I'm gonna switch to the Old Republic so I can knock out that older stuff. Or not older stuff, but stuff I missed. Haven't done yet. Because for some reason, I don't know why the damn Lego stream is not doing well. I don't know if people don't know how to find Lego streams or if that's not just a thing. So I'm just gonna have to like promote the hell out of it next week. Something. This is, it's a little rough. A little disheartening. I have to get with my editor and make a whole bunch of like shorts and TikToks to see if I can drive people here. That's one of my only complaints about YouTube.
You're saying TikTok, and the only thing that comes to my mind is the Sam Jackson meme.
Is what?
The Samuel L. Jackson meme, where he's there and he's like, TikTok, motherfucker.
TikTok is that, as a content creator, is that necessary evil. Like, I feel sick to my stomach sometimes when I say it, but at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? And if TikTok is one of them, so be it.
TikTok or Reddit?
I personally have to stay away from Reddit.
Did you get banned from Reddit?
No, but I know myself, and I will go down that rabbit hole.
I don't know why, but every time I see Reddit, I keep thinking the old redneck thing, and I just never go there.
Reddit was great. Like, there's actually, if you're a fan of, like, you only feel that way because I'm old, Reddit is just 2-week-old TikTok at this point. True. It's behind. What's wrong? God damn it. I gotta figure it out, Zeth. Like, the gaming streams, I'm used to not having, you know, the people here, but Lego ones on a Saturday, these are like normally my bread and butter. I've thought I had all the right tags in there. I don't know. Don't know. Because remember, I said today was going to be like the true test. Well, I don't know. What do you think? I know I'm probably doing something wrong like always, but still. Those stop motion things, they're weird, but it's like people are watching them. I don't either. That's the thing. Like, I don't see a blog category or like a podcast category. It's like how to and style. Like, here's the categories: film and animation, autos and vehicles, music, pets and animals, sports, travel and events, gaming, people and blogs, comedy, entertainment, news and politics, how to and style, science and education. Science and technology, education, nonprofits, and activism. I just don't know which one to put this in. It kind of is, but that's what I have it on now. Is a how-to, but it's kind of like it could be a people and blog because of the conversation. It was politics earlier, but I don't know. Since it's Star Wars, make it politic. I mean, yeah. Like, the gaming is straightforward. You pick the game and you get lucky. But this one is Interesting. I don't know. You know me, open to all suggestions and all that. Are y'all playing 14 today?
Who?
I
What?
was talking to Zether. See if they were playing 14.
Oh, because I was like, I was playing that last night.
Oh, I know you were. About to go get food.
I was doing my gold saucer stuff. So like when the event comes up, I think it starts Monday. I can get the card.
Yeah, but seriously, I have no idea how you find any streams on here.
So, hold on. Let me turn you.
Oh, you're quiet.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I have no idea how you actually find streams on here. For like Lego.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work for YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know if it does.
It's kind of like, do I just do the Lego on Twitch? They work on there.
What if you... Kinda.
Well, they work way better than what's, going on here.
Yeah. His streamed Lego, not the move, maybe? Maybe just video of Lego is?
Yeah, shorts and stuff like that.
Recorded, yeah.
I don't know. This one is odd. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Like, I can't even, like... Just through Google, I can't even find crap. It's crazy.
So I think I'm gonna. The plan is maybe after, because there's still a whole bunch of Lego videos that haven't been uploaded or stuff like that. I'm having Jennings convert them to like shorts so they can be used on TikTok and for the YouTube Shorts algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that might help to bring people here. Like, oh, he streams building. Or you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree.
So
I think that's a good call, and I think something else too is like with YouTube, it's all about the actual content. It's not just streaming what you're doing, right?
right, yeah, it's also video uploads and
People that are popular on YouTube are actual content creators for the most part, whereas Twitch, it's just people that are live half the time.
right. And that's something I need to work on. Is okay. Like I love the streaming aspect, but how would I create? Like, what kind of content should I create outside of streaming? You know?
It's really what would you like, I guess. I don't know. Let's see.
I'll maybe make a couple of videos outside of streaming, so with the different type of setting, so to speak.
Like maybe some IRL stuff. I don't know.
No, you don't have to do all that if you don't want to.
You know, say unless you want to do something like really weird, really alcohol. Your cooking is pretty much good IRL as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the only thing stopping me from doing those is
What?
the laptop. I don't have it anymore.
Oh.
It's dead.
Oh yeah. That's right. It fell, right?
Yeah. So it's like, shit. Like I love doing those. It's not like I don't want to do them. It's just that I don't have them.
Can't you make cooking videos that aren't streamed?
The thing about
You
it
know, you
is
set up the
I
thing
would
so
be.
that you can. you
No,
know,
I can't. I'd
do
have
it
to move
properly.
my entire setup in there because it was a different setup. It was on a laptop, and the only thing I would move was like a camera. Like I wouldn't use this camera right here. This one stays here, but the overhead one I would bring in there and lights. Cause I thought about it and I was like, it's way too much. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm
Yep.
trying to put it on the wrong side. That's why. Okay.
Look at the second comment on this. When you get a chance.
So check out the second comment.
Yeah.
I've got it.
The first thing.
Too, buddy. I do have it. I do use Stream Elements. Thumbnails. Like I have all that.
No, I didn't know if you did the TubeBuddy thing. I
Yeah,
haven't looked at
yeah.
it
I've
yet,
got.
so
That's how I found a lot of hashtags people use.
make sure.
So like if I go to a page, like let's say it's
Oh,
a
there it
Lego
is
video
right
of like
there.
3 million views, it'll pull up whatever tags they're using on the side above like the suggested videos and shit. It moves all that down and you've got all the everything they use and it gives you the SEO score up. Ooh, excuse me.
Look at the fourth comment. That makes a lot of sense actually, and I feel like that's probably the problem.
Which one is that?
The fourth comment from infantry something or other.
Well, that's what, like, I mean, the
That's the
thumbnails
problem.
that I'm keeping them constant.
No. Comment, not that fourth post.
Oh, the
Not the
fourth
thing on
comment?
that post. Yeah.
Yes, that's my issue.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm not gonna
End of the
deny
day.
that. I know that.
Well, shit. Oh well.
So that's why I'm working with talking with Jennings, and so I can start getting more videos rocking and rolling. You know what I mean?
Oh, I thought you said Jans earlier.
No, Jennings. Jans is a good editor. For his, you know, he edits his own stuff. He's funny, but yeah, no. He'd fall asleep during the middle of an edit.
So, what kind of videos do you think would be interesting? For example, regarding Legos, if you did something other than just the streaming videos, what would be something that you
Maybe
probably
like
like an unboxing or
I could do
doing an evaluation of
Yeah.
what it is or
Some
something.
evaluations
Time
might work.
lapse.
I also think like, so say, because I've got the UCS Falcon, right? So I build that and I do a comparison video of the most recent play scale Falcon. That could work.
Sure.
But also maybe when I do move and I can get everything, you know, all the Lego sets out, Lego room tours and stuff like, you know, set up videos like, okay, let's set it up like this, or I don't know.
Sure.
Like I've never been one to really indulge in YouTube like that, so I know I need to start just
It's mostly what you think would be interesting to do, because if you're doing something because you feel you have to, it's not gonna work.
right. And
Something
I'm not
that-
gonna do something I don't want to.
interests you.
Now, look, you like streaming Lego building. You
Yes.
could literally use this. You just need to, before you go into the actual build, you do an actual intro. And you can do it while streaming still, because it's still recorded, right? You
Right.
just do an intro. This is what a lot of people do that do the streaming and then take that content to YouTube.
hmm
You just do like one of those like typical excited intros like you are about whatever the new build thing you're gonna do is, and then you just start
Yeah.
posting your build videos. You just skip through all of it, right? You have it edited down to where it's on
And maybe stream
5
in a
days
different
worth.
maybe stream in a different way. For example, maybe do the streams where you take pauses, for example, after a couple of bags, so that you have a proper cut if you don't want to put the entire
Right.
video up, if you want to put episodes or something like that.
Right.
The small things that you can possibly do.
So the way I've got the videos being edited, well, it's changing, but the way I had it was a 5 to 7. If he can condense, you know, he would combine all the streams together, but make it to where it's a 5 to 7. Like it would have cuts to where I'm talking about it, showing it off, the intro, but then it would, like, if you're looking at the stream, like a speed build, it's you know, time lapsed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's all a learning process, because you got to think at the end of the day, I enjoy this. That's why I still do it, because I don't make money off of it. So
Yeah, so you should, well, and also regarding if you want to do some videos regarding games or something, you should also see what you probably want to do. If you want to do something like the first impressions, like you did with Maneater yesterday.
Yeah.
If you
like I,
want to do gameplay, if you want to do walkthroughs, guides.
oh, I'm not the one for
You don't want
walkthroughs
to
or
do
guides.
walkthroughs or guides.
No, I'm not saying specific. I'm saying what probably you would think would be fun for you to do personally.
Right. Like Maneater's fun. It's not a, like, I don't think it's something that I could 100% at all. But it's a fun, no brain, you know, just mindless killing machine. Granted, looking at the places, some of those license plates where you gotta know exactly how the hell to get up there without dying, but
You eventually get things that'll let you be on land longer and shit.
yeah, I'm still a little baby shark.
Double jump and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah,
just
there's
a
a lot of grids.
little teenager shark.
Most people end up just basically living on land killing stuff eventually.
What?
It's actually real stupid and it's super fun.
So
Get
that's
to develop legs, and maybe
No.
lungs.
Kinda lungs, yeah. Legs would be hilarious actually.
Well,
TLC.
it would make sense, you know. It's a proper. If you're out there enough that you can breathe, you could probably, you know, need to move there, not just jump around.
I mean, let's be real. It's all about the voiceover, dude.
Yeah.
It's all about him. Because you're just swimming along, killing things mindlessly. Then he says something you're like, what? What? And he just says it such a car salesman serious way. Just, yeah. Like, wait, what?
How have views on your VODs been?
What? Let's see. Been bad. Haven't been great,
Compared
but
to like Twitch.
honestly, I think I get more views on my VODs here than I do
It's like
Twitch.
I think it's about 45 to 50.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. Like, see, last night there's 51 views.
That's 45.
New World
50.
was 35, DBD 29, Swell Tour 45, Forza 42. Cantina Build 3 was 31, but the first one was 53. So, not bad.
What day was the day 3 build on?
That
Was that also a Saturday?
No, I think that was a Friday. September 3rd, so that was, yeah, it was a Friday. Friday night. Because I didn't stream that Saturday because I was in Denton.
So this is your first time streaming on a Saturday, to be fair.
Yeah. But this is also my normal Lego stream day.
Right.
So,
Maybe Lego stream day don't work on YouTube for Saturdays too, though, maybe.
maybe. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think, did something... I know college football's back, but...
That's also true. Football did just start back, which is pretty big for a lot of people.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of the people that are normally watching, and I'm like... Maybe a couple? But it's not... It shouldn't be a huge impact on me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, most of the people that watch Lego, and, I mean, Alf can vouch for this, are EU, you know what I'm saying?
So they care a lot about American football.
They could give a fuck less about American football.
Yeah, college football. You're right. College football is big because, like, right now, I know there are people watching. They're watching Oregon beating Ohio State right now.
Yeah, that's a big deal. To people that are into it, of course. But yeah, no.
I don't know. Well, I mean, like I said, it's the first one. It's still early in the month.
I just need you to calm down. You're freaking out, and I'm just kidding.
I'll say I'm really not.
You sound so worked up. Chill.
Like I am. I was like, I'm just gonna work on it later and figure it out. I mean, nothing comes overnight.
Maybe
I know
you need
that.
to do I was thinking for your videos too, to make it easy, better on the editors.
Uh-huh.
Do more check-ins on showing like the progress update of where you're at on a build.
Right. I got you. This one is
showing
kind
it
of
the
hard
camera
to
and
do.
stuff. Well, yeah, I know.
But no, I got what you're saying. Like, I normally do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I start,
do?
like,
I
hey,
get
this is where we are. This is where we left it at.
Oh,
Or
you do? Do you?
Do you
Or-
have just the one camera?
set up right now, yeah.
Like, one thing you do, like, your build right now. Like, everything we're doing, we're talking, you're just doing the overhead and looking at it. But every once in a while, you might, like, if you got a smaller camera, take it down there and show it, like, in the thing you're building. Especially in a big set like that, and you can see what the inside walls look like, give a little different view of it than just the overhead view we're seeing right now. Or when you hold it up to the camera, you see part of it. But if you had a smaller camera, you could go in like here. This is where they sit, and it's kind of like listed in there. Give more of like a cinematic view of the inside or whatever.
Right. With this one, I do need to do that because there's so much details on the inside. The overhead camera is not doing it justice at all, which could also be another reason people aren't watching it.
I mean, everything's just combined at this point, and it looks like I don't know. It doesn't look like you've done a lot, but I know you have.
Right. Like, I'm
Like,
looking
this
at...
view looks like it's literally like 150 pieces, maybe.
Yeah.
It doesn't look crazy.
Yeah. So I was saying, like, if you could somehow set it up with these builds, if you had multiple cameras, you could see multiple angles, and you could switch between cameras as you're building it, so they can see like the overhead, they can see the side, they can see different things. Once in a while, you switch camera angles during the build.
Right. Yeah, I've
Sith
looked at
Lord
some.
Brit does that during her when she's making her cosplay stuff. He has different views of the printer or whatever else.
See, that's one of the another reason I'm trying to move and all that stuff to have a dedicated office space slash room. You know what I mean? Because I'm limited on what I can do in here. Because this is my bedroom, so I don't want to show people everything. And depending on the camera angle, you're gonna see the room. You know,
Right.
so. Like, I want to keep some of my life personal. Yeah.
Not allowed.
Said some. Look, I was a little bit uncomfortable with Greg in the house. I was like, he knocked on the door. What is he doing here? Like, why are you trying to come in?
Did
And
he
stuff?
not tell you he was coming over?
No, I knew he was coming over, but I was like, I'll come out, grab the carrot cake. We'll probably talk outside for a little bit, and then, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, and then like an hour and a half later. Oh. I was like,
Fair.
I meant to ask him how the chair felt because he's the first person that really sat in the chair.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, like, yeah. That's kind of the goal when things move. So I can only do so many things. Because also on this side of the desk, on the right side, is my work stuff, and I've got, you know, sensitive work stuff you can't see. So.
Why do you have sensitive work stuff? What?
Notes and stuff.
Man, imagine taking notes on paper in 2021. That's crazy.
It's on my little whiteboard, you asshole.
You still have plenty of things on your computer it could be saved to, just saying.
Yeah, I know.
Where in the hell is this vendor? Man, I don't know how to follow coordinates apparently.
Oh, I mean, more research, you know what I'm saying? It's basically all I can think of is to do is more research. Okay, let's see, 16. Yeah, we're almost towards the end, so I'm not gonna finish this today. 16. See how many bags I've got left. 17.
Where in the hell?
Somebody's at my door. Give me one sec.
Fuck.
Who can that be knocking at my door?
Where the hell is this? Six.
Men at Work was the name of the group.
Nah, that I knew. I was talking about stupid NPC in Final Fantasy 14.
Marcus had ordered something.
Oh, you're
apparently.
Final Fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
18.
Which part are you at?
Which part am I at? Oh, I'm just
Yeah, like-
doing a crafting thing.
Oh, I didn't know if you made it all the way through or ARR or where you were at.
Oh no, I beat all the story along. I don't know. Shortly after 5.5 came out, I beat all of it. So I beat Endwalker, I guess years ago at this point, right? Not Endwalker, Shadowbringers, or whatever.
I'm gonna say I'm in 5.4, but I've been kind of sidetracked with other things.
Fair.
Yeah, I've got 3 bags left, so
3?
yeah,
Not bad.
yeah. So that's one more stream out of this.
Dang, it says the NPC is supposed to be right here, but she's not. What the?
Ooh, the next one I make the do back. Awesome.
make the what?
The dewback, the lizard. This thing.
The dewback.
Finish this.
God, that lizard looks so sad in his face.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Poor guy. Damn, did I just make these and I can't turn these in for a minute? Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, there goes my inventory space.
Inventory space.
Yeah. Whole page of inventory dedicated to some crafting turn-in items because I was trying to get ahead on a quest that I'll be able to finish up later, but I can't turn them in because the NPC I don't think exists until I talk to that or get on that quest. So that sucks.
Can't you store them somewhere?
Yeah. Then I'll forget about it.
That's usually how it works.
Fair.
Yeah, so I'll keep it in my inventory and just complain instead.
Damn it! I need another retainer.
Fair.
No, I have plenty of retainer space. I have one that has nothing on them, but still I'll forget.
That's completely fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Like, I'll go into a storage, like,
Oh, wait.
why is that
I
there?
can use this. I know what I can do. I might be able to actually use this. I've been unlocking all like all the master recipes and stuff for all the crafters and shit.
Were you at Nishgard?
I was doing it in Yulmore, but yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You buy them from anywhere.
I was gonna say there's Nishgard. There's was it the Dolmen, and then Yulmore.
Yeah.
I think are the three crafting places.
There's one in Mordona though. I think that